What if I told you the heaviness in your legs at night, the swelling around your ankles, and that uneasy feeling in your feet before sleep are not just signs of aging, but early warnings your circulation is quietly failing when your body is most vulnerable? Most people over 60 never hear this from their doctor. They assume poor circulation is something you live with, manage later, or accept as normal. But as a surgeon, I've seen what happens when these small signs are ignored. Blood flow slows, fluid pools while you sleep, tissues don't repair the way they should, and balance, strength, and confidence begin to slip, often without pain, without drama, and without warning. This is why understanding circulation in the legs and feet matters far more than comfort. It's about protecting your mobility, your independence, and your safety over the next several years. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple cups, habits you can start today that work with your aging body to restore blood flow, reduce nighttime risk, and help your legs feel dependable again. And the final one may surprise you most. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Cup number 1, the beetroot juice cup, reopening pathways your legs depend on. If your feet feel colder than they used to or your ankles look puffy by late afternoon, your body is quietly telling you something important. Blood is having a harder time reaching the lowest parts of you. This isn't a personal failure, and it isn't just aging, it's physics, biology, and years of gravity working together. The first cup I want you to understand is one that speaks directly to your blood vessels, not with force, but with chemistry your body already recognizes. Beetroot juice works because it contains natural nitrates. Inside your body, these nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, a molecule your blood vessels rely on to relax and widen. When arteries are even slightly narrowed, less blood can pass through. For someone over 60, that narrowing often shows up first in the legs and feet. When nitric oxide increases, vessels soften, resistance drops, and blood can move downward more easily. Many seniors describe it as a subtle warmth returning to their feet or a sense that their legs feel lighter within an hour or two. Using this cup correctly matters more than using a large amount. 1 cup is enough. Start with beetroot juice that is either store-bought with no added sugar or freshly prepared at home. If the flavor feels too strong, dilute it with water. Dilution does not reduce its benefit. Drink it slowly, not as a shot, allowing your body time to respond. Morning or early afternoon is ideal, especially before light activity or walking, because blood vessels that are already open respond better to movement. This cup is not meant to replace medical care, and it is not a shortcut around lifestyle changes. If you live with diabetes, high blood pressure, or excess weight around the abdomen, beetroot juice supports circulation, but it cannot override poor habits. Think of it as opening a door. You still have to walk through it. Gentle movement, even ankle pumps or standing foot shifts, helps carry the blood where it needs to go once vessels are open. There are situations where caution is important. If you have a history of kidney stones or take medications that already affect nitric oxide pathways, speak with your healthcare provider before using beetroot juice daily. Start once a day and pay attention to how your body feels. Some people notice mild digestive changes at first. These usually settle within a few days. What makes this cup valuable is not speed, but consistency. Taken daily, it supports healthier pressure inside the vessels, reduces strain on the heart, and helps counteract years of reduced movement. Over time, better circulation means less swelling, better balance, and more confidence on your feet. But opening blood vessels is only the first step. What truly transforms circulation happens when those open pathways are paired with the right kind of movement, and the next cup is where that shift begins in a way most seniors never expect. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. Cup number 2, the warm lemon water cup, teaching aging, blood vessels to respond again. Some mornings, the hardest part isn't standing up. It's that brief moment when your legs feel stiff, slow, almost unsure of themselves. Many older adults assume this hesitation is muscle-related, but very often it's the blood vessels themselves struggling to adapt. After 60, vessels don't adjust to pressure changes as quickly as they once did, especially when you move from sitting to standing. This is where a simple cup of warm lemon water becomes far more powerful than it looks. Warm lemon water works on circulation in a quiet, structural way. Lemon is rich in vitamin C, which your body uses to produce and maintain collagen. Collagen isn't just for skin, it gives blood vessels their strength and elasticity. As we age, collagen production slows and vessels become less responsive. They don't open or close smoothly, which means blood can hesitate on its way to the legs and feet. By supporting vessel integrity, this cup helps restore responsiveness rather than forcing stimulation. Using this cup correctly is about timing and temperature, not quantity. Start with 1 cup of warm water, not hot. Hot water can irritate the stomach lining, while warm water gently relaxes the vessels and supports digestion. Squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon. Bottled lemon juice lacks the same vitamin profile and often contains preservatives that reduce benefit. Sip slowly, preferably in the morning or 20 to 30 minutes before light activity such as a walk, stretching, or household movement. This timing allows vessels to become more flexible before gravity demands more from them. Many seniors notice subtle but meaningful changes when this cup is used consistently. Legs may feel less tight, calves less compressed, and balance improves slightly when standing. These aren't dramatic sensations, but they are early signs that blood is moving with less resistance. For people who experience mild dizziness upon standing, supporting vessel response can also help reduce those brief lightheaded moments. This cup is especially helpful for individuals who spend long periods sitting, whether watching television, reading, or using a computer. Sitting allows blood to pool in the lower extremities, and stiff vessels have trouble correcting that quickly. Warm lemon water does not push blood, it prepares the vessels to cooperate when movement begins. It's important to understand what this cup does not do. It does not thin the blood aggressively, it does not spike heart rate, and it does not replace hydration. Instead, it improves the quality of circulation, how smoothly blood moves through vessels that have grown less adaptable over time. That makes it safe, gentle, and appropriate for daily use for most older adults. But flexibility alone is only half of the solution. Even the healthiest vessels need a mechanical signal to move blood upward against gravity, and that signal comes from a place most people underestimate, which is exactly what the next cup is designed to awaken. Cup number 3, the ginger tea cup, clearing the slow burn that chokes circulation. If your legs feel stiff when you first start moving or your calves ache even on days you haven't done much, the problem may not be weak muscles at all. Very often it's something quieter and more stubborn, chronic low-grade inflammation. After 60, this kind of inflammation builds slowly inside blood vessels, making blood thicker, movement less fluid, and circulation to the feet noticeably slower. This is where the ginger teacup earns its place. Ginger has been used for generations not because it stimulates the body, but because it calms it in the right way. Its natural compounds help reduce inflammatory signaling inside blood vessels, allowing blood to flow with less resistance. When inflammation is lowered, blood doesn't have to push as hard to get through narrowed, irritated pathways. For older adults, this often translates into legs that feel less heavy, less tight, and more cooperative throughout the day. Using this cup is simple, but preparation matters. Start with fresh ginger root if possible. Slice a few thin pieces, about the size of 2/4, and place them in a cup of hot water. Let it steep for at least 5 to 10 minutes. If you use a ginger tea bag, choose one without added sugars or artificial flavors. Drink 1 cup daily, ideally in the late morning or early afternoon when stiffness and sluggish circulation tend to show up most clearly. What many seniors notice first isn't dramatic warmth, but a gradual ease of movement. Ankles feel less rusty. Calves don't tighten as quickly when walking. Getting up after sitting doesn't feel like such a negotiation with your body. These changes happen because ginger supports microcirculation, the tiny vessels that supply the feet and toes and are often the first to suffer when circulation declines. This cup is particularly helpful for people who experience swelling that worsens as the day goes on. Inflammation makes vessels leakier, allowing fluid to collect in the ankles. By calming that internal irritation, ginger tea helps reduce the conditions that allow fluid to linger in the lower legs. Over time, many people notice their shoes fit more comfortably by evening. There are a few practical considerations. Ginger can be warming to the stomach, so it's best consumed after a light snack if you are sensitive. If you are on blood-thinning medications, ginger in food or tea amounts is generally safe, but moderation is important. 1 cup a day is enough to gain benefit without overdoing it. This cup does not work by force. It works by creating a cleaner internal environment for blood to move. When inflammation eases, circulation improves naturally without spikes in heart rate or blood pressure. For older adults who want steady, reliable progress rather than quick fixes, this matters. But even calm, well-flowing blood still needs one more thing to truly escape gravity. Without that final signal, circulation can stall again, and the next cup delivers that signal in a way no drink ever could. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. Cup number 4, the intentional water cup, restoring flow by thinning the traffic. By the time many adults reach their 60s, they've quietly trained themselves to drink less water. It's rarely intentional. Bathroom trips become inconvenient. Sleep matters more. Outings are planned around access to restrooms. Over time, mild dehydration becomes normal, and circulation quietly pays the price. Blood that lacks enough fluid becomes thicker, slower, and far more resistant to gravity, especially on its way down to the legs and feet. Water doesn't boost circulation in a flashy way, but it does something far more important. It restores the conditions blood needs to move efficiently. When you are properly hydrated, blood viscosity improves. It flows more smoothly through vessels that are already narrowed by age, stiffness, or inflammation. For older adults, this often shows up as fewer cramps, less evening heaviness in the legs, and improved steadiness when standing. Using this cup correctly means changing how you think about hydration. This is not about chugging water or forcing fluids late at night. It's about steady, intentional intake throughout the day. 1 cup of plain water every 1 to 2 hours while awake is enough for most seniors. Room temperature or slightly cool water is ideal. Extremely cold water can cause brief vessel constriction, while very hot water may discourage regular use. Many people notice benefits within days. Ankles may appear less swollen by evening. Shoes feel more comfortable. The legs don't feel as tight after sitting for long periods. Balance can improve subtly because muscles receive oxygen more efficiently when blood moves freely. These changes are not dramatic, but they are meaningful, and they compound over time. Hydration is especially important if you take medications commonly prescribed after 60, such as diuretics or blood pressure medications. These drugs can increase fluid loss, making dehydration easier to miss. Signs you may need more water include darker urine, dry mouth, frequent leg cramps, and fatigue that worsens in the afternoon. Drinking intentionally earlier in the day allows you to reduce intake 2 hours before bedtime, protecting sleep while still supporting circulation. It's also important to understand what hydration cannot fix alone. Water does not open narrowed vessels, reduce inflammation by itself, or push blood upward against gravity. Think of it as improving road conditions. Smoother roads allow traffic to move, but cars still need an engine. In circulation, that engine is muscle activity. This cup is one of the simplest habits to adopt, yet one of the most neglected. Many seniors are surprised to learn that what they assumed was poor circulation was partly the result of chronically thickened blood. When hydration is restored, circulation doesn't have to work as hard, and the heart experiences less strain pushing blood downward and pulling it back up. If you do only one thing differently this week, let it be this. Keep a glass of water nearby and make it a companion, not an afterthought. Circulation improves when support is consistent, not occasional. But even well-hydrated blood still faces gravity's final challenge. Without a mechanical push from the body itself, fluid can settle again, and the next cup reveals the fastest, most underestimated way to send blood back up where it belongs. Cup number 5, the calf muscle pump cup, the fastest way to send blood back to the heart. Let me tell you something most people over 60 are never taught. Your calves are your second heart. If your ankles swell by evening, if your socks leave deep marks, if your feet feel tight after sitting through a movie or church service, it's often not because blood can't get down to your legs, it's because it's struggling to get back up. Gravity always wins unless your muscles actively push against it. Inside your lower legs are deep veins responsible for carrying blood back toward the heart. Unlike arteries, veins don't have strong muscular walls. They rely on surrounding muscles to squeeze them. Every time your calf contracts, it compresses those veins and pushes blood upward. When you sit for long periods, watching television, driving, reading, or using the computer, that pump turns off. Blood begins to pool. Fluid leaks into surrounding tissue. Swelling follows. This cup is not something you drink. It's something you activate. Here is exactly how to use it. Sit in a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the floor. Hold on to the armrests or sides for balance. Slowly lift your heels while keeping your toes on the ground. You should feel your calf muscles tighten. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower your heels back down. Next, reverse it. Lift your toes while keeping your heels down, tightening the muscles along the front of your shins. Move slowly and deliberately. Perform 15 to 20 repetitions of each motion. That takes less than 2 minutes. Now add ankle circles. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and rotate the ankle clockwise 10 times, then counterclockwise 10 times. Switch feet. These rotations engage smaller stabilizing muscles and improve microcirculation around the ankle joint. If standing feels safe for you, try this variation while holding on to the kitchen counter. Rise gently onto your toes. Pause briefly and lower back down. Perform 10 to 15 repetitions. This standing version creates a stronger squeeze in the deep veins and often produces noticeable relief within minutes. Do this routine 3 times daily, morning, mid-afternoon, and evening, especially if you sit for extended periods. Many seniors report their ankles look less puffy the same day. Legs feel lighter. Walking feels smoother. That immediate change is not imagination, it's fluid returning to circulation instead of sitting in the tissues. This cup matters because it restores control. Aging does reduce vessel elasticity. Medications can influence fluid balance. But muscle contraction is something you still command. When used consistently, this simple pump reduces chronic swelling, supports balance, and decreases strain on the heart by improving venous return. Over months and years, it can help preserve mobility, and mobility is independence. If you live with severe vascular disease, open wounds, or recent surgery, consult your physician before beginning. For most older adults, however, this is one of the safest and most powerful tools available, and it costs nothing. You've now learned how to open vessels, improve flexibility, calm inflammation, thin circulation, and mechanically move blood upward. But what happens when all 5 are combined consistently over time is where the real transformation begins. Protecting your circulation today to protect your independence tomorrow. There comes a stage in life when the body no longer compensates the way it once did. After 60, circulation is not just about comfort, it becomes a foundation for balance, healing, heart health, and independence. The heaviness in your legs, the swelling around your ankles, the coldness in your feet at night, these are not random inconveniences. They are signals, and the greatest mistake many older adults make is assuming those signals are simply the price of aging. Circulation in the legs is uniquely vulnerable because gravity never rests. Every hour you sit, every night you lie still, blood must travel downward and then fight its way back up. When vessels stiffen, when inflammation builds, when hydration drops, or when muscles stop contracting regularly, blood begins to pool. Over time, that pooling contributes to swelling, skin fragility, slower wound healing, and increased fall risk. During sleep, when movement is minimal and blood pressure naturally shifts, poor circulation can quietly worsen. That is why some people wake up with tight calves, numb toes, or cramping in the middle of the night. The body is more fragile in stillness than most people realize. The 5 cups we discussed are not quick fixes. They are layered strategies that address circulation from multiple angles, supporting vessel flexibility, reducing internal irritation, improving blood flow conditions, and restoring the natural muscle pump that sends blood back to the heart. Each cup works differently, but together they create a system, and systems are what aging bodies respond to best. Understanding how circulation works gives you control. Instead of fearing swelling or ignoring stiffness, you now know why it happens and what to do about it. That knowledge alone changes outcomes. When you act early, before chronic edema, balance decline, or skin breakdown develop, you protect not only your legs but your future mobility. Think about where you want to be 1 year from now. Do you want to feel steadier walking through the grocery store? More confident climbing stairs? Less concerned about falls? Now extend that vision 3 to 5 years forward. Circulation that is supported daily reduces strain on the heart, improves oxygen delivery to tissues, and lowers the risk of complications that often steal independence in the later decades of life. Aging does make the body more delicate. Blood vessels lose elasticity. Muscles lose strength if unused. Recovery takes longer, but fragility does not mean helplessness. It means precision matters more. Small, consistent adjustments today can prevent larger consequences tomorrow. This is not about chasing youth, it is about preserving function. When you understand the mechanisms behind circulation and take ownership of daily habits, you are actively protecting your ability to stand, walk, sleep comfortably, and live with autonomy. Your body is not asking for perfection, it is asking for support. And when support becomes routine, the next 5 years can look very different from the last 5. Stronger, steadier, and far more under your control than you may have believed. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.